So there were things that people felt when they walked into that booth, and that happened to be the majority. So these protests are, in essence, protesting what the majority wants.
Yes, they are, and that is, they're right. But I will say that I think it's interesting that it's not, I don't think it's any more about the word. I just think that people feel if you don't approve of gay marriage, then of course, as I always say, do not marry a gay person. But as you find,
they call you a bigot if you don't approve of gay marriage.
But you know what they call it. You call me a bigot, I call you a bigot. I don't like what you believe, you don't like what I believe. That's the American way. But I do believe that if I do not subscribe to your way of thinking, then you should understand why I'm going to go protest. To me, it's like abortion rights.
That's the thing. I understand why you're protesting. I think a lot of people feel like, because a lot of people are saying, a lot of black people voted for Barack, but they voted, a different way. And I think you have a lot of black Christians who feel like we are opening up a Pandora's box because, like you said, nobody's going to go where they're not wanted. But there are some people who go, because I want to have my dream wedding in a church, and you're saying no. So I might sue you because you're discriminating against me. And so you're impeding upon their rights, their beliefs.
In California, that is against the law. That is against the law. The law is on the books that says you cannot do that. That is on the books. It was on the books when gay marriage was. So, but I guess I'm simply saying, listen, if I don't subscribe to your religious beliefs, I understand how you feel, but I don't want to be forced to live my life because it makes you uncomfortable a certain way. And that's why I say it's like abortion rights. If I'm a person who feels they need to have an abortion, I want to be able to go and deal with that myself. I don't want you to be able to stop me if that's what I think I need to do. Just like...
Wait a minute here. Did she just compare abortion with homosexual rights? I just can't even believe they allow this.
You don't want me saying to you, you got to go have an abortion if you decide you want to have a baby. I think we have to find the balance.
I think people feel like, I know when I say...
So what are you saying, Whoopi? That people don't have a right to live, and if gays aren't allowed to marry, you're trying to say that abortion is compared to homosexuals? So innocent children being murdered and not wanted is compared to people that don't want homosexuality. I don't get it, Whoopi. Can you please explain this?
I am pro-choice. People go, well, oh, you're for killing babies. No, I don't want the government telling you what to do with your body. And I think people are feeling the same way. It's like if you're voting, against what I get confused about what is Prop 8. If you're voting yes on Prop 8,
I'd be confused.
You're a bigot.
Honey, I'd be confused too if I was on
that show. What is Prop 8? If you're voting yes on Prop 8, then all of a sudden you're a bigot. I get confused about what is Prop 8 if you're voting the same way. It's like if you're voting, against what I get confused about what is Prop 8 if you're voting yes on Prop 8.
Maybe a lot of those voters got mixed up like you just did. A lot of those voters got mixed up like you just did.
All across this great land of ours, the Institute of Marriage, as we have always known it, between a male and female American, is under attack. Attacked by the homosexual. How would this affect you? What would gay marriage look like? Well, for starters, schools would be required to teach your children how to be gay. Churches would require pastors to kiss husbands on the mouth after every sermon. Now, that's putting the altar in alternative lifestyle. And what about temperament? Do gays have the right disposition to be married? After all, everyone knows that gays are too focused on acrobatics to give a marriage the attention it needs to succeed. And lesbians can be testy in a disagreement. They'd rather solve their problems with a switchblade rather than the compromise it takes to make the marriage work. And then there's Joe. He still doesn't get the picture.
Darn it! What seems to be the problem? It's this woodworking project. It keeps falling apart. Oh, I think I see the trouble. You see, when you try to put your screw into the wrong kind of hole, it just doesn't work. It doesn't fit. Oh, I see. It's kind of like gay marriage. Huh? Well, when you try to put your screw into the wrong kind of hole, or you try to rub two holes together, the whole thing just falls apart.
I still don't get it.
Well, let me see if I can put it... dropped on Nagasaki.
Starting to get the picture? This is...
It'd be like that atom bomb we dropped on Nagasaki.
Starting to get the picture? This is what gay marriage would look like. So what can you do to stop gay marriage from happening? If you see two gays getting married, make a loud noise. Try to make yourself appear larger so as to intimidate the gays. You can educate gays about Cupid's checklist for a successful marriage. It's important that you have similar backgrounds, that you are real friends, that you understand marriage, and that you are not gay. Yes, gay marriage just doesn't make sense. Even they get it. And the lesbians get it too. Do you?
Like separate but equal.
Well, look, when my parents got married in 1960-61, it would have been illegal for them to be married in a number of states in the South. So obviously this is something that I understand intimately. It's something that I care about. But I would also say this, that if I were advising the civil rights movement back in 1961 about its approach to civil rights, I would have probably said it's less important that we focus on an anti-miscegenation law than we focus on a voting rights law and a non-discrimination and employment law and all the legal rights that are conferred by the state. Now, it's not for me to suggest that you shouldn't be troubled by these issues. I understand that and I'm sympathetic to it. But my job as president is going to be to make sure that the legal rights that have consequences on a day-to-day basis for loving same-sex couples all across the country, that those rights are recognized and enforced by my White House and by my Justice Department.